Is on there. I got to get this alternator in place. Shoot, I think after that we can crank it up. Put some water in it. Antifreeze. Maybe you can sit there. Takes me a while to remember how everything goes here, but I'm getting there. So this one goes through that one back there. Up there. And then this spacer goes in here. I just need another hand, don't you? Do this though. I can do this. I know I can do this. That one goes back in there. And this one's going to go through that. This one goes back and this one goes up into that. There. So I thought the antifreeze water looked kind of dirty, so I strained it twice through a bed sheet. Looks a little better. The antifreeze, I can't remember if it was yellow or green, but it looks yellow, so maybe it was yellow. But it looked kind of pretty muddy, and you know that all came out of that Chevy engine. Well, I don't know. Yeah, it's a pretty new radiator. I mean, ooh, shouldn't have done that. A bit too much too quick there at the peak. Let me pour up another bit, and then I'll crank it, and we'll let it run while I'm pouring it in. Got a kind of a mechanism. A lot of times Honey Baby pulls off old bed sheets and doesn't want them, and I always save them because I can use them for rags or for car covers or something, you know. So that's what I used for this. It took me an old bed sheet and stretched it down over that, and that way I can pour this into it. I strained it once as I was pouring it into the bucket here. Now I'm straining it again. It goes into the jug. Just for good measure. I was thinking I had a jug around here with some old antifreeze in it that came out of that engine that I built, that I never did run much. It may be out back. I didn't find it, but I was thinking last night where it might be. So, and I've got another can of fresh antifreeze here. So, yeah, I'll get her topped off good, and we'll figure out what we're doing. Get it running. After all this time, I had very little hope of it cranking and running on its own without me having to put some gas down in the carburetor, but you know what could happen? I might try it just as a way of letting me know whether I need to pay any more attention to that. I was talking about this be a radiator that you can see down into, and if you look down in there you may be able to see the liquid standing about half of that, maybe a little lower, but when it's running and the thermostat is open, you can see it moving through the radiator. And we'll need to warm it up and get it running. Get enough antifreeze in there to have it pretty full. Right now that was probably about 1.5 gallons, which is not much. I think this thing took about 2, almost 3 gallons before. Although I don't know where it went, although some of it could have just run out. I did have a little leak going on here. And but I didn't lose a lot in the floor. It could be there's quite a lot still in the engine. A lot of times when you drain your radiator, the engine is still full of water, you know, because not all your water is going to be out here in the radiator when you're draining it. I did find a little cutoff valve for that water hose. I did wind up putting a water hose on the engine where it comes out of the water pump, so that I found a cutoff valve so I could just cut that off when I get ready to try the heater in this. Well, I'll have to open up the manifold down there to get something for the water to go back into, but I'll have a easy access to a water outlet. It is not only easy to get to, but because I can cut it off, that means I can cut it off in the, if I do hook the heater back up, I can cut it off in the summer, just to keep me cooler inside the car. You don't need to be riding around with a hot radiator core, heater core, if you're trying to keep inside your car cool in the summer. Okay. So I'm going to put the lid back on here and wipe off the drips and the drops here. I need to put my little overflow bottle back in place here. That's my overflow bottle right there. Now this should allow us to hear what the engine sounds like without that fan running. I think before it was hard to hear the engine because the engine was quiet and the fan was loud. So here's what I was talking about. I got this hose runs out of the top of here, and that's a shut-off valve right there. So if I get ready to hook up the radiator, once I take that core out and fix it, then I'll have access. Another thing I can do with that is bring that radiator core up here and set it on the fender and run water through it. Of course, I still got to put a plug in, a nipple and a hose into that, but that's not very important today. So like I said, I'm going to try this. Oh yeah, I'm going to need a battery in here, ain't I? Alright, let's see. She's going to crank. Hey, that's good.